Let's solve this absolute value equation. So when we're solving anything, we always want to remember our order of operations, PEMDAS. So we want to remember that when we're solving, we go backwards. When we're simplifying, we go the other way, but when we're solving, we go backwards. So the goal is, before we can solve any absolute value, is we want to get the absolute value all by itself on one side. And it is. So since there's nothing being added, subtracted, multiplied on the outside of those absolute values over here, we can go ahead and set this up into branch 1 and branch 2. Absolute value problems are always going to give us two different values for x, with the exception of 0. So now what I'm going to do is take this as I see it for branch 1. I just take out the absolute value signs. However, for branch 2, I want to take the opposite of what I see inside the absolute value. Okay, so now I can go ahead and solve for x. Since negative 3 is being multiplied to x, I'm going to unmultiply it, which means I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3, which means x equals negative 6. That's one of my answers. Okay, so looking over here, if you wanted to, you could distribute in that negative 1, or you could divide by a negative 1, or you can multiply by a negative 1. So I'm just going to write right here that this here, there's a 1 right there. So for right now, since most of you are used to distributing this in, I'm going to go ahead and distribute that in. So negative 1 times negative 3x gives me 3x, and that equals 18. Divide both sides by 3 so I can get the x by itself. So that means then that x is equal to 6. So my answer is x equals negative 6 or x equals 6.